You were born to do something great with your life. When you were a little boy or a little girl, there was probably one person who made you feel that way. And you ought to give yourself the gift right now of who is that person? When you were a little girl or a little boy, they made you feel special. And there's probably only one, maybe two. Maybe it was your parents or your grandmother or grandfather, a coach, or someone that was in your life and you felt something about you because of the way they looked at you or spoke to you.
It's so easy to lose ourselves in the midst of a storm, especially when it feels like we haven't seen a sunny day in months. And we think because this storm is so powerful that all of our dreams are going to be washed away with it. But what if the storm looked at you and said, if you stay true, what's for you will find you?
This is the comeback. Maybe you're in a rut, maybe you've just experienced failure, or maybe you're just lost. But this is the part in your story where the momentum shifts. This is where you find the drive that you've been looking for. It is now. This is the start of your comeback. The vision that you have for your future, everything you so desire, is begging you to pick yourself up and begin your journey. Because the window is closing, and if you pass this one up, you very well may solidify your eternal existence within the dreadful cycle of stagnation.
Fail big. That's right. Fail big. Today is the beginning of the rest of your life, and it can be very frightening. It's a new world out there. It's a mean world out there, and you only live once. So do what you feel passionate about. Take chances.
Got to figure it out. If you really have an obsession to figure it out, you will figure it out. And every puzzle is constructed differently. Everybody has a different puzzle, man. You just got to figure out your own puzzle.
You can walk through the fire complaining along the way, or you can walk through the fire and create an example for everyone else so that the trials and tribulations of their own life seem trivial, because they're comparing themselves to the way you handle things, or the way you handle things with grace and dignity and discipline can show other people that they can handle their own life this way. And there's beauty in that. There really is. And there's so much inspiration to be gathered from other people.
This is why I say stay hard. Because when you weren't given the gifts, the only thing you can do in life is stay hard. There's no magic pill or a magic potion. All you can do is outwork the man that God created, or woman, in you.
The person you have to spend the most time listening to in your life is yourself. Try not to lose their respect. Self-respect and self-esteem, I think, largely comes from having faith in your own word.
If you want something bad enough, you can't let anybody tell you you can't do something. I'll repeat that. If you want something bad enough, you can't let anybody tell you you can't do something, not even yourself.
You need to work on yourself. If you just try to be pampered, and if you're trying to be soft, and if you're trying to be the victim and all stuff, you're not going to go anywhere. We need to get stronger. We need to get tougher. We need to not be afraid of failure. We got to go and do the work. We got to face adversity. Adversity breeds character. There's strength. We have to be willing to go through hardship, through suffering, through pain, through crying periods, all of that stuff. Don't shy away from any of that, because it just makes you stronger.
There will be days when you give every ounce of yourself, every ounce of your soul, blood, sweat, and tears, early mornings and late nights, and not see any result from all of your hard work. And the most difficult part of all of that is knowing you have to show up the next day and do it all over again. And you may not see the result immediately. It may not come next week, but believing that eventually the result will come is what makes a champion.
There's going to be days where you don't feel like showing up. There's going to be days where you're paralyzed by self-doubt, in days where the distance between where you are and where you want to be is overwhelming. I'm here to tell you that the only way to keep inching forward when those days happen is to be committed to the process. Because the ones who stay consistent, whether they feel like it or not, are the ones who see the results, not the ones who have conditional commitments on their goals. Keep going.
When you find that sense of purpose, when you find what I call your life's task, everything has a direction. Everything has a purpose. Your energy is concentrated. It's not like you're just going down a single narrow pathway. It's not like life becomes boring and it's just about discipline and solving problems. It's actually the most exciting thing that can ever happen to you, because you never have that lost feeling. You wake up in the morning and you go, yeah, this is what I need to accomplish. People come at you with all kinds of distractions and boring and irritating things. You're able to cut it out. It's just the most marvelous piece of internal radar that you can have. So I genuinely wish that everybody can find that kind of internal radar.
You are the creator. You are creating every aspect of your life. You're creating time. You're creating memories. You're creating bad habits. You're creating good habits. You're creating good relationships. You're creating bad relationships. You're creating everything. You're creating things that you don't like. You're creating things that you love. You are a creative being, and you need to be continuously creating in order to maintain momentum and energy.
The undisputed first law of personal growth is this: that people will never rise above the opinion of themselves. And when we commit to self-mastery, we give ourselves the best shot at becoming the best and greatest versions of ourselves that we can be. And then we get to become the example and the invitation to others. Be the change you wish to see in the world.
And the amazing thing about that is they were right.
We're not victims of this life. You know, we wake up every day with choices to make. And you get a choice every day. And like I said earlier, I think whether or not you're going to look back on your life as a success is going to be determined by what your values and priorities are, and how often you're willing to wake up every day and make the choices that are going to fulfill you and bring you the joy that you're looking for.
Human beings, our nervous system is hardwired for comfort, whereas the essence of what makes us, some would say our soul, is hardwired for growth. And it's managing that dynamic tension between how good a comfort zone feels and the innate calling of our potential that lies outside of that.
Need challenges in your life. If the challenge is too great, like you're going to fail because it's too far above you, you're never going to reach it. If it's too low, you're never going to have the energy. It's too easy. It's not going to motivate you. But there's a sweet spot, like here, where it's a challenge. It's above what you can do right now. It's not so far above that you can't possibly do it, but it's enough of a challenge to mean, God, I better get my act together. I better get the energy together. I better change my habits. I've got to get up earlier. I've got to work harder. It's this challenge that's a little bit above my level. That's a powerful way of motivating yourself. You need challenges. You need constant challenges in life, or you're going to stagnate. It's just the law of nature.
Do you really want legacy? Do you really want to live out your dreams and live life as you imagine? Do you really want to reach your full capability in mind, body, and spirit? Do you? How bad? Does it make you lose sleep at night? Does it leave you feeling restless? Is it at the forefront of your mind every minute of the day?
Now here's what I want you to know. If you don't sow, you don't reap. So if your focus is on reaping and what are people going to do to add value to me today, every day is going to be empty. Every day you're going to come up short. But the day that you realize that adding value, sowing seeds is more important than reaping the harvest, your life and your communication will incredibly change. You see, I consider the success of my day as a communicator, as a leader, is based on the seeds I sow, not the harvest I reap.